As you can see, this is a very different video from all of my other videos because today we are doing an ASMR of me baking a cheesecake. I bake cheesecakes really often because they're probably the top selling item in my online store. So this won't be me trying to bake a cheesecake for the first time. It'll be me actually teaching you how I bake my cheesecakes. If you would like to buy a cheesecake from me or any other baked good, you can check out my online store. The site will be in the description of this video. Like, subscribe, share. Also follow me on my social media. Please. I think this is gonna be really difficult because if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know that I'm extremely loud and clumsy when I bake.
What is the chicken?
So I guess we'll just see how this goes. I got this recipe from King Arthur Baking. The link to the recipe will also be in the description of this video. Before we get started, I just wanted to say that it's really important for this recipe that you take your refrigerated items out of the refrigerator early enough in advance so that they are at room temperature, especially the cream cheese. The longer you let it sit out at room temperature, stop laughing. You can basically let you can let cream cheese sit out at room temperature for up to 2 hours. So the longer you leave it out, up to 2 hours, the softer your filling will be and the less bumps there will be. Our first step though is going to be the crust, so I'm going to take out those ingredients now. Let's get started. For my first step, I'm going to take 1 pack of graham crackers. I don't know how many grams it is. Alex is yawning and he made such a funny face. Whenever Alex yawns, it's like... Anyway, I don't know how many grams. But each little bag of graham crackers is about the same size, no matter what brand you get. So I like getting just generic store brand, typically like honey graham crackers. And what I'm gonna do first, before I put it in the blender to finally crush, is I'm gonna use my hands and try to break them into pieces first, so that it's easier for the blender to blend. I just cut my nails, dang it. That didn't do much. Okay, I'm gonna get my blender now. I know I barely crushed it, okay? I have my blender. I have my blender here. Oh, crap. I'm so sorry. I'm going to do this off camera because the blender obviously is gonna be really loud. I'm just gonna put this into the blender and blend it until it's super fine. Super fine. I'm sweating. All done. I'm gonna blend this off camera now. My graham crackers have been finely crushed. Now I'm gonna pour them into a bowl. This might be loud. All done. For my next step, I'm going to melt 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter. I have some butter here. Anyway, I'm gonna cut them into tablespoons so that they kind of melt faster in the microwave. Now I'm gonna put them in the microwave off camera because that's also gonna be loud. My butter is all done microwaving. Okay, I'm just trying to make some sounds because it's an ASMR. I'm gonna let that cool for a little bit. I've just finished building my crust. I'm gonna put it in the fridge to cool and solidify while I work on my filling. Was that too loud? I'm sorry. As you can see, I have my food processor out. I've also preheated my oven to 350 degrees. Now I'm gonna take my very much room temperature cream cheese and I'm gonna break it up into pieces and put it into the processor bowl. How you like that? Yeah, this part's a little gross, I'm sorry. But you want it this soft. Okay, now I'm gonna wash my hands. Up next, we're gonna crack our 2 room temperature eggs. Is that too loud? It's probably too loud. Yum. Okay, I'm gonna clean up first. Now I'm gonna put my 2 eggs in. You might hear Apple crying. It's okay, she whines at everything. I'm gonna add 1 cup of sugar. I lied, it's not 1 cup, it's 2/3 cup. So I'm gonna measure out 152 grams. Last but not least, the recipe says to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla, but I always add more, so I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Now I'm gonna mix it all together in my food processor off camera because it's gonna be very loud. So I'm almost done blending it, but as you might be able to tell, there's some sugar and egg and stuff stuck on the sides of the bowl, so I'm just gonna use my rubber spatula and push them down and then blend a little more. I just finished blending my filling and I took my crust out of the fridge. Now all I have to do is pour the filling into the crust and then bake it. It's very silent. Now I'm just gonna smooth it out. There's like no sound. Now I'm gonna put it in the oven to bake at 350 degrees for about 35 minutes. Sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it's ready at 35 minutes. The way that I tell is just opening the oven door and pushing it a little to see how much of the center still jiggles. If most of it still moves when I press it, that means it's not done. If just the center is jiggling, it's about done and it'll firm up once it gets to room temperature / when I put it in the fridge. I'm gonna go do that now, and then I'm gonna take Alex to a doctor's appointment, so I'll see you after that. I have my completed cheesecake here. Voila! Unfortunately, I can't cut into it or anything because somebody bought this. I'm sure they wouldn't appreciate a sliced up cheesecake. So, I guess that's the end of the video. I hope I did a good job on this ASMR.